think that I kind of respond with my personality. Makes sense. It's like I respond from the guts before responding from my experience as a coach. So I would say that it's easier to trust first, but then observe. You see, that means, and this is how to say, a topic, a discussion that we have so many times with my clients is, could I trust, or do I trust, or do I behave trusting in the beginning, or do I wait for people to demonstrate that they are trustworthy and then I trust them? Well, my view, again, but I insist on the fact that I respond from my guts, is to say, trust first, but pay attention. Pay attention if people then behave, let's say, according to what you expected, according to the trust you gave, right? And then my number will be 2, right? So give twice the chance, which means, let's imagine you have a new colleague and then you invite him for a lunch, okay? Which is a trusting, you want to establish a good relationship, and therefore you initiate with a favor. Make sense? You do your invitation to lunch. Good. Then you observe whether he will invite you back. Makes sense? This is the minimum in order to know whether he reciprocate, right? And reciprocation is the natural behavior of someone who's, let's say, of good intention. Now, you did that once and then you wait for the reciprocation. That means the invitation in return. Now, if that doesn't happen, right, you still give the second invitation. You do the second invitation. Now, let's hope that will not be very expensive lunch so that you remain buzzed. But, okay, so you choose a lunch that is not really very expensive, okay? And then, so this is the second favor you offer. Now, if there is no invitation back, I would say that the demonstration is done, it's clear, and you should stop the favors. So coming back to how to interpret, right? If I burn my tongue in the soup, well, I would say whenever you have another meal in front of you, try first, then why not try second time, but then be sure that this is burning, right? But I would say, this is my understanding, is coming from my personality, to be trusting. Then I could imagine that you could go the opposite way, which is not trusting and then observing. So it might be that the person proves that is trustworthy. But what I'm saying is that this is once, twice, that's enough. The demonstration is happening in the two situations. You don't need to stay 5 times. Or let's say you don't need to be trusting 5 times in order to withdraw your trust. And you don't need to distrust 5 times in order to give your trust. Makes sense? So as people are coherent in the behavior, in 2 situations, let's call it the trend is clear. Makes sense? It's like the trend, the behavior, the real attitude is there. So whether you start by trusting twice or distrusting twice, be sure that you observe what is the trend. And I would say that, yes, twice it's a good number to observe the trend and then to decide whether you will trust or you won't trust according to the, let's say, the result of this test.